Welcome back to Who's at the Chef's Table with Chef Dan. This week, your hosts, Chef Dan and Doris WithaD, sit down with General Manager Jay O'Hare and Chef Patrick O'Brien of the Field Irish Pub and Eatery in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Part 2 of 4.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned also that a lot of people come first stop off the airplane, you were telling me?
Yeah, well, we're right beside Fort Lauderdale at Hollywood International, so we're a couple of miles from the door there. So, and we're a hidden gem, I'd say, Dan. So, like, we've neighbors across the street, who you'll meet at the front door, and they'll just come in and say, "Wow, I've never been in here," and so you immediately think they're maybe from Coral Springs or Coconut Creek or Homestead or somewhere, they're
Sterling Road.
They're from across the road, I think I drive by this place all the time. But we're a destination restaurant, as Patrick says. We got people coming from Homestead to Palm Beach and everywhere in between. Not only do we attract tourists who are heading out on a cruise or whatever, which is nice. We mean a lot to our local community. When people come in or see us, they think we're local, and we are, but not as local as people think. We're drawn from such a large area that people really travel far and wide, because there's really not anything else like it in South Florida. And we've had people, not to overstate it too much of how unique we are, but we've had people, I had a guy who wrote a book on Irish pubs and has been to every one in the country and a lot of other countries too. And we've had a lot of people who've had these, stories where they said, I visited all these Irish pubs around the world, and they genuinely say that this is one of the best ones they've been to and most unique. I haven't had the luxury of being to all the Irish pubs in the world. I'd love to have a shot at it, but I've been in this one a lot, and a few other ones in Ireland and beyond. But it has a certain unique vibe to it that is just, you certainly can't move it and put it somewhere else.
The size,
yeah, like the banyan tree.
But the whole size with the whole hidden gem part, you really are a hidden gem.
Yeah,
because when we pulled up, I saw the banyan tree. Yeah, and I'm like, wow, okay, I see the place. And then when we came in, it's like, wow, this place, it's really hidden. It's huge. But it's huge, but it's quaint. Yeah, and I think that's because of how it's broken up. Right. It's
cute little rooms.
Yeah.
You can walk 3 steps one way, and you're in a different world.
We've been down this
4
road
steps
100
the other.
times.
Yeah. Amazing.
And her son was telling us.
You recorded?
Yeah, go on ahead.
It's okay.
Oh, you get out of me yet?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Is that Alex?
I don't know who's Alex. Oh, yes, Alex. Yeah. Sure. Alex, yeah.
So, we've been down this road 100 times.
Yeah.
And when her son said, oh, yeah, it's, diagonal from Tropical Acres. And I'm like, no, I know the Greek place. I didn't know. Mm-hmm. And like I said, then when we came in, he said the big tree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He said
look for the big tree.
Yeah. Okay, then we saw it. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
How did I miss this?
Well, people think we're called the Field because of the big tree. The banyan tree is about 130 years old, as I was showing you, and it's the centerpiece of the restaurant. The house that we're sitting in is about 70 years old, so the tree was here, about 60 years before the house even was built, which is amazing. There would have been horses and buggies going up and down Griffin Road. And then the restaurant was expanded about 45 years ago. The house was turned into a restaurant about 45 years ago. So there's a huge history here, and you can sort of feel it when you walk in. People think we're haunted, or there's that feeling when you come in, you think there's a history here that you don't get in most places in Florida. Where do you ever go into in Florida? You think, like, is this haunted? Because everywhere just sort of feels cookie cutter, somewhat the same. Keith's at the bar.
Keith's at the bar?
He is.
Oh, he said Keith is back here.
He's not.
I was going to tell you what a great bartender you guys had.
Ah, thanks so much.
He's back here. He sits right at the tripod. So, are there owners here?
I'll tell you, I'm Jay, I'm the GM. Hi, Jay. And this is our chef, Patrick.
We come all the time.
Thanks so much.
Miss your, my wife, she was thinking about maybe firebombing this place because you did away with the pot roast thing. She's having a fit over that.
Well, I hope she loves us too much to do that. It's very flammable. There's a lot of antique wood in her. She'd be very successful if she was to do that.
I think a lot of
and then we'd have no jobs. We employ 60 people in the local community, so please ask her to reconsider. These people need these jobs, so a free pot roast night, we can definitely negotiate.
It's an extraordinary business.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
My last name's Murphy, so of course I'll respond.
You'll fit in just fine.
The bartender brings us back. That's why we come here all the time.
He's had a bit of practice. This is 18th year with us.
He's been there for a little while.
So yeah,
he really is great. So we appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
And everybody we recommend, that comes to this place, 100% of the time goes crazy. My wife brought her boss here one time. You know, you bring your boss, you're on a limb, right?
Yeah.
She went crazy, and so she started making special trips to come here.
Great.
And bringing her husband and other people to come here. And everybody we brought here, this becomes her favorite place.
That's fantastic. I always like to hear a story where you bring someone and they had a good time.
Are they locals?
No, she she worked for Lakeshore Learning, and so she had actually several people that would come. They were her bosses would come. One of her bosses was in Tampa, would come here, loves it. Another one's in Orlando, came here, and then her main boss is, where is he? I forget where he's located. I forget where he's based, but he came here, same thing.
So they don't mind driving miles and miles just to get this wonderful food and wonderful place.
Right.
I love it.
Everybody we've sent her. Everyone's. I'm with my neighbor Nanish. I first brought here, and he just wants to come here all the time now. It's just hysterical. So everybody you brought. And that's got to be the same story with all your customers. They've got to have the same story.
Mr. Murphy, I think
They do. I think you answered a few questions there. Yeah. We mean a lot of things to a lot of people for a lot of years, and I'm glad you liked us so much to introduce someone to here, and we didn't mess it up on you when you did. We impressed as much as we impressed you. So
the consistency is unreal.
Yeah.
Out of your kitchen.
Thank you.
It's.
No, we've not paid this gentleman to do this. I want you to know.
This is totally
He has not been compensated in any way to say these things.
No. I was going to add that, believe me.
It's like the same person always cooking. Because, we all do. We all go to different places to eat, right? And you can tell when there's somebody different in the kitchen. That's really...
Patrick's a very busy man, and although he'd like to be the same guy cooking all the time, it's not, no.
Produces the same food.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, he cloned them.
Consistency is the hardest thing to achieve.
You know that you go to a restaurant, you have something you like, and then you go back and have it again. If it's different, it's a massive disappointment. It can hurt your business, right?
We were just talking about that.
Consistency is important.
Yeah.
And you nail the consistency. It's always been the same.
Thank you.
And I did once tell somebody that what's funny is we moved to Davie lived in Scottsdale, Arizona, came here. And we've been here a long time and didn't know the restaurants here. We've driven by it 100 times. I swear we didn't even know it was here. And then somebody else told us about the fields. And so we came here and discovered it.
Yeah.
But it's not like people driving by know it's here.
So do you feel like you want to tell more people, or you want to keep it a secret?
Well,
that's the quandary, isn't it? As people that run the business, we'd like to tell everyone. But so some of the guests like to keep it as kind of a secret,
It's not like there's a sign that you...
Yeah. Well, the sign's as big as the city of Dania Beach will allow us to have.
Yeah.
We had a big old apple from the days of the spiced apple, but Hurricane Wilma took that down on us. So
I wonder how many people actually know this place is even here, because we were here for a couple of years and didn't know it was here.
Well, like you say, some people across the street don't know we're here, and then some people in Orlando stop in every time they're in town.
Well,
and that's why Chef Dan and I are here.
Yeah.
Chef Dan and I are here to make sure that everybody learns about it. Because what we do is advertise.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Would you like to work for us?
Yeah. I came from the pharmaceutical industry. I used to sell drugs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I understand it, but when you have something like a place like this, it's just, this place is extraordinary.
Thank you.
It takes zero sales. All you have to do is get somebody through the door. And then,
that's true.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
You get them through the door. And the consistency of the food, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But the lack of the pot roast.
Yes. Yeah.
I've got a wife that says whenever I come here, she says, ask them when they're going to have the pot roast back. I said, honey, beef is $500 an ounce these days.
Yeah.
And it's not profitable for them to serve it. So
you never know. We are redoing our menu at the moment, putting we're not changing anything drastically, but we're always tweaking and trimming and adding and subtracting just a bit here and there, just to try and get it just right. We're never there, but the pot roast might come back. I'll have a word with our owner, Hillary.
The
recipe for the pot roast?
No, that's closely guarded secret. Yeah.
It should be like a little tear out recipe.
Off camera, I can tell you. I can't be recorded. Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Lovely to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for everything. Appreciate the kind words.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. No.
Okay, guys, thanks a lot.
Thanks so much.
Unfortunately, we'll see you again.
Yeah, we'd love to. Have a great day. Happy New Year.
Yeah, again, that was totally unsolicited and totally welcome. And, again, I think the creator provided for us today.
It just reinforces what you said.
Right. It was kind of like a lot of the things we were kind of talking about.
Yeah.
I do find it
distances,
crazy.
your food, the consistent, everything.
Now, something you mentioned about the sign, we see it a lot. A lot of places have that problem where townships don't allow. Even like where we're from, you can't have a sign facing the street. Yeah, it has to be like this.
Yeah, they call the signs. We have a monument sign, which is basically a rectangle, stuck in the ground, about 6 foot high, and. To make that worse, we actually have a hand-painted sign. So, the speed limit is 45 out here, and most people seem to do about 60 miles per hour out here with very little speed enforcement. So at 45, you'd struggle to see our beautiful hand-painted picture of Ireland that says the field. But, when you stop, it is quite beautiful. But
and if you're going 30, you got to be
paying attention to see it. But, that's part of the story, right? We are a hidden gem, so.
Yeah.
And I think some people want us to stay that way.
Mr. Murphy brought up something that I wanted to ask about, and that was the style of food that you serve here. We need to talk about that.
Yeah.
I want to start here.
Well, that has a lot to do with Jay also.
Oh no, I know. This is a
There's a partnership.
big time.
Yeah.
We
spend a lot more time together than we actually ever wanted to or could imagine. Yeah. Really, I think we're a family. Like, I spend more time with Patrick than my wife. I think.
I'm sure. I am sure.
Yes, we're in America, so we do sell American food, of course. But the traditional Irish food that we sell here, we try to hit as traditional as possible. We bring things from the spice bag. Yeah, which is Chinese fast food takeout.
Yeah,
Ireland,
Dublin street food, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we bring stuff that in like that. We look at
which didn't exist when I left Ireland in 2001. Yeah. And now is one of the kind of a hot item. If you're on TikTok, they're eating spice bags on TikTok.
Even in the beginning, I worked here. We had like a stew, but it was an American version of stew, so it was thick. The Irish version of stew is brothy. It's not as thick. We did leaking bacon. The leaking bacon pie, which very traditional, So we a lot of communication with people who visit Ireland often, and who know the culture better than I do. I speak to people who work here who visit there, and I had this. I'm like, you have a picture? Let me know. I want to know how it tastes. And we try to recreate it as best as possible here. So when you come here to eat, you can actually taste something that would actually be made in Ireland.
Yeah. It's a living menu. It moves, it changes. Yeah. It's not just a stagnant. Yes. It moves.
I even have people who come from the UK. They're like, oh, when are you guys doing the spice bag again? It's like, probably another month or so.
Which is a great compliment when people from a place really love the version that you've done, when they say that's authentic, or we do pies that people go, wow, these are really authentic, or,
Right.
And like I was saying to you, Doris, we were talking about hamburgers and, all the BS that goes along with hamburgers these days, and people putting the house ketchup or the, something aioli in this, and people just want, but we pride ourselves in doing great hamburgers and great chicken wings, and, sure, it's just down and dirty comfort food, but we want to do mashed potatoes really well,
Oh, you do.
So, I can tell you, I ordered meatloaf.
Yeah, and that's a special actually.
Right, so, it was a special,
But it used to be a menu item, so we had a little. We had a recipe there that we knew.
Was it Jordan, our waiter,
Kills?
Yeah. Said that when I was looking at it, he said it used to be on the menu, and now I'm looking at this, and I'm going, they must have a good meatloaf.
Now listen, if you start to see, the more people want to perpetrate violence upon us because the meatloaf's not on the menu anymore. That's the problem we have. When people love items, they never want them to go, and we always want to move the envelope and move it along. And with a kitchen, we don't have a Cheesecake Factory kitchen. We're not too bad. We don't have 20 stations. We got 5, so we got options. But with a 400 capacity restaurant, we have to be able to execute for events too. So there are limitations. So when we add, we sort of have to take back. So we like to keep it moving, keep it fresh, and there's certain things you just have to have that people love. So we do the Irish specialties. every day of the week, shepherd's pie is our biggest seller, you know, so it's not glamorous, you know, it's just honest to God, great comfort food. It's an English dish. It's actually cottage pie because it has beef and not lamb, which is a proper shepherd's pie. But, you know, beef has become synonymous with shepherd's pie in the United States and is much more liked or much more universally popular than lamb. But, you know, we've moved that along to do an impossible shepherd's pie, which is a vegan version of the shepherd's pie. And, you know, that's not something we sell a lot of. But the people who come here for that will travel far and wide for a really comfortable. When you're vegan or vegetarian, you don't want to be told, "Oh yeah, maybe get a salad."
Yeah.
You know, you want to feel like you've had a great Irish dinner and sit beside the fire, you know, and you're part of the crack there with everyone else, and you know, you don't want to be told that you know, I'll have a salad or have a side of mashed potatoes.
Just to make a vegan pie, we sat there for weeks, just like, what can we use? What can we take out? What can we make this to be not vegetarian but vegan? You know, not using butter, using like royal butter to replace butter. How to make a gravy? Like, what are we using for the gravy? You know, so it's like
what spices are going to go into it?
So to make something completely vegan to appeal to somebody who does not eat meat was a little challenge. You know, but we made it, and people now. We don't sell a lot, but they come here just for that.
And the great thing about it is people that like meat will eat that and they'll go, "That's amazing."
It's true.
It's not a compromise. It's fantastic in a different way.
But I loved it.
I mean, on a side note, in the magazine, we have a writer, the Vegan Homeboy, and he introduced us to vegan and stuff like that. And that's basically what I was saying. Like you just said, is I didn't want people to say, "Oh, this is vegetarian," you know, or "Here's a salad," you know. Here's a good shepherd's pie. Yeah, that's it.
Here's something delicious that's going to fill you.
You know, and that's really good. That's a really good thing, and that has to be known.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know, because so many places we see when we talk to the Vegan Homeboys. I'll send them somewhere and I'll say, "Hey, what was their menu like?" They gave me a tossed salad.
Look, it's like our drinks menu, right? If you take it to a different part of the restaurant and say, well, what do we do with our bar? Well, sure, we do the same things as every other bar in America does. Well, you know, we try and do that great. Beers is the center of a pub, so we pour one of the best Guinness you're going to get anywhere in Ireland. I remember I hadn't been back in Ireland in many years, and my wife, you know, got me a Guinness. We landed in Ireland, and we were meeting up with friends, and she hands it me. She goes, "Here you go, have this Guinness," you know. And I looked, and I said, "Thank you." And she's looking at me, waiting for my reaction, and I drank a sip. She goes, "How was it?" And I go, "It's about the same as the one I had at the field last night before I left." And she goes, "Is it not good?" And I go, "No, it's amazing." But the Guinness at the field is literally as good as you get. You know, people don't believe that's how good it is. You know, but these days you can't just hang your hat on beer. Like, you know, we've done the macro beers really well. We do craft beers. We have a partnership with Three Sons and Dania Beach, and we sell a lot of their beers. They make a beer for us, and, you know, we sell a lot of their niche products. But I've always been interested in appealing to niches, right? Because sure, I know that if we put 300 people, 400 people in here, right, most of them are going to have shepherd's pie. They're going to have fish and chips. They're going to have Guinness. They're going to have a pint of Harp, right? But, you know, what's the vegan at the table having? You know, what's the guy who likes craft beer having? They're the people I'm interested in, because I know we got the other stuff down, but I'm always trying to please the 5%, because they're the people that really influence sort of where people are going to go. And no one else really caters to these people that like niche items. So, you know, we got a great cocktail list, you know, that we really try to elevate.
Thanks for watching, everyone, to another delicious episode of Who's at the Chef's Table with Chef Dan. Join us next week for more culinary adventures. This show's a proud joint production of SoFlo Dining and the Beachside Directory. Head over to soflodining.com to subscribe for free to our online magazine, packed with awesome features, discounts, and South Florida dining tips. SoFlo Dining is your go-to guide for all things tasty in the Sunshine State. See you soon.